What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Mo Money School, the school that teaches you everything that the school system should have taught you. I'm your host, Chris Mo. If you're new to the channel, welcome. A little bit about me. I'm an independent contractor for the greater Los Angeles area. I've been doing it for the last 3 years now, and I love it. I basically run a business where I help fix people's homes. Running a business is hard, but I don't care because I just love business, and I love helping people too. And that's why I built this channel. In this channel, I'll be talking about business, personal finance, and self-improvement, because those are the 3 things you need in order for you to move up in the world. You see, where I come from, I grew up in South Central Los Angeles. In other words, the hood. In the hood, there's nobody to teach you anything at all. There's no person that you look up to, and everything you learn the hard way. And I want to stop that. I don't want people who come from similar backgrounds like me to have to learn everything the hard way. So I built this channel to help those people with similar backgrounds that want to move up in the world, to make it a little bit easier for them. That way, they don't hit the same roadblocks that I once hit. Today is January 10th. That means we're already 10 days into the new year. And like majority of people, everybody has their New Year's resolutions, things that they want to do this year to be a lot better for next year. But unfortunately, this is the same time that a lot of people actually quit on their New Year's resolutions. For today's episode, we're going to be talking about the 3 reasons why people fail their New Year's resolutions. So without further ado, let's get started. You see, the reason why people set New Year's resolutions is because they didn't like who they were previously, or maybe they don't like their life currently. So what they want to do is set targets to become a better person, whether it be in regards of losing weight, making more money, getting more organized, being closer to your family. It could possibly be anything. Each and every one of us have different goals that we want to go ahead and achieve. And we set those goals at the end of each year because we want to make sure that that year could be our best year. But unfortunately, some of us set our goals incorrectly, which is why we tend to fail real early. Which brings me to rule number 1. You have to be specific on your goals. If you're not specific on your goals, you're not going to know where you're going. You see, majority of people's goals, they're too broad. They're not specific enough. For example, say you want to lose weight. You say your goal is to lose weight. You're not saying, oh, I want to go ahead and lose 10 pounds by this and this date. You see, when you set this broad goal, you don't know exactly where you're going. So by doing that, your brain is making a connection that it has this infinite amount of time to be able to achieve that goal, which isn't the case. You see, these New Year goals are for this New Year's. It should be something that you should be able to attain within that year. The reason why you shouldn't set broad goals is because there's no way you can measure it. By being specific on your goals, now you can track it. You can measure it by keeping yourself accountable every single day. You take baby steps. So for example, let's say you want to go ahead and lose weight. 10 pounds by the end of the year. 10 pounds is more than achievable for anyone by the end of the year. But how do you get to those 10 pounds within 12 months? That's easy. If you break it down, 12 months divided by 10, then you get your answer. That's how much weight you should be losing per month. And then from there, you can divide it per days. And then there, you can divide it by hours and everything you want to go ahead and calculate in regards of exercise, food, and all these little things. When you break things down into a much smaller goal, it looks a lot more achievable. I call this making mini goals. When you set mini goals to get to a bigger goal, it makes it seem like your goal is attainable, that you can actually achieve it. And that's one of the reasons why people fail, because their goals are too broad and it seems like it's too impossible to get to that goal. Why make your goal so impossible that it's so hard to reach when you can go ahead and climb that rope little by little and get to that goal one step at a time? By making your goal a lot more specific, you know exactly where you're going. When you set a specific target, you're being realistic with yourself, and when you set mini goals, you're able to build momentum to be able to achieve that goal. Being specific lets you see your target. When you're not able to see your target, all you're really doing is praying and praying and hoping you hit that goal one day. When in reality, it doesn't work that way. You can't go to your goal if you can't see it. You have to be able to see your goal to be able to grab that goal. So that's rule number 1. The second reason that people fail their New Year's resolutions, it's because they forget that it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's January 10th. How are you supposed to reach your goals within just 10 days? It's impossible. And if you did, then that means your goals weren't really goals. They were just tasks. You see, a goal takes time. It takes time to develop all the strengths and abilities to be able to achieve that goal. You see, your goal is supposed to be something to make you a lot better. If you can make yourself a lot better in just 10 days, then I don't think you're really making yourself a lot better. You see, we don't live in a messed up world where undeserving people get what they don't deserve. Everybody gets what they deserve. There's no such thing as instant success. There's a claim out there that it takes about 90 days to build a habit. And that's just building a habit. A habit, in other words, is just something that your mind is starting to remember that it's supposed to do. That's not even working towards your goal. So the way I do it and the way it's been able to help me is that once I get to the 90 days, okay, then I start counting. Then I start counting and making progress to my real goal. So the 90 days, it's more like just a warm-up. And that's how you should go into 2021, thinking that your first 90 days are just a warm-up. After those 90 days, you start from day one. I assure you that on day one and on, you're gonna feel a lot better about yourself. You're gonna feel like that goal is now achievable to get because you've been doing it for the last 90 days. Building habits is how you achieve those goals, but it's gonna take time. There's no such thing as overnight success. Everything does take time. Time is always going to be against you, so you want to make sure that you're using your days productively. And all of these great people will tell you the same thing. Look at Elon Musk. Elon Musk recently became the richest person in the world, now worth $20 billion. And let me tell you this, when he first started Tesla and SpaceX, nobody believed in him. Everybody thought he was crazy. He almost went bankrupt. He was in so much debt, he didn't even know what he was doing. But it took him close to 20 years to get out of that hole and become who he is today. But it took him years and years to be able to achieve the goal that he wanted. And even then, he's not even done yet. So if he's not done yet, how are you supposed to be done now? And a lot of you might be thinking,
well, that was a different time, Chris.
No, it wasn't a different time. I'm not talking about these old wealthy people. Like, no, forget about that. It's 2021. Time is moving forward. It's now time to talk about people's recent success. Besides Elon Musk, there's another guy who I look up to, which is named Ben Francis. And if you don't know who Ben Francis is, you probably know his brand, Gymshark. Ben Francis is the founder of Gymshark. And let me tell you this. When he first founded the company in 2013, all he was doing is selling supplements. He grew that brand where at the end of 2020, that company is now worth $1 billion. And not only are they selling supplements, it's an entire brand that's recognized everywhere by gym heads like myself. It just comes to show that it takes time. If you just look at the two examples that I showed you, it takes about 10 years to even get the ball rolling. It takes time. It takes time to get to where you want to be at. And that's what people tend to forget, that it's not a sprint. You're not going to get there in just a couple of days, in a couple of hours. It's going to take time to get where you want to go. It's going to take days. It's going to take hard work. It's going to take sweat. It's going to take tears. And you're just going to have to deal with it. And if you really want that success, you're going to get it. You just have to stick with it for the long run. And now for the last and final reason that people fail their 2021 New Year's resolutions is because of this. And if you take anything, and I mean anything from these three reasons, I want it to be this reason. The reason why you're failing your 2021 New Year's resolutions is because you're lying to yourself. You're lying to yourself, you're lying to yourself, and you're lying to yourself. And you see, this is what I tell people. You can lie to me, you can lie to your friends, you can lie to your family, and you can lie to everyone in this world, but there's only one person who you'll never be able to lie to, and that's yourself. You're never going to be able to lie to yourself because you know the truth. But what do I mean? What do I mean you're lying to yourself? Let me tell you. What I mean by you're lying to yourself is that you're making excuses. You're making excuses and you're letting yourself slide by. And I'm guilty of doing this in the past too. Say for example, when I was trying to lose weight, I would say that I would give myself this one cheat meal every single week, or I'll just take this one snack this one time. And I would keep using that excuse. Oh, it's just one time that I'm gonna eat this. It's not gonna hurt me. But if you really think about it, that one time, it's gonna come back, and you're just lying to yourself. You're making yourself feel good about that. Or let's put it into a money perspective, where a lot of us are trying to save money, but there's those events where we go out with friends and say, oh, I want to buy this. Oh, it's not that bad. It only costs $10, or it only costs $3. Or say, for example, for a lot of people who love to go to Starbucks, oh, it's just coffee. I'm not going to get the venti. I'm just going to get the grande. It's $1 less. It adds up. That one time adds up. It's not just this one time. Each and every single time you say it's this one time, it gets added and added and added and makes this domino effect where eventually you're left in the same place, and all you're really doing is making excuses for yourself. How you do the little things is how you do everything. The more excuses you make, the more you lie to yourself. The more you lie to yourself, the more you're not gonna get to your goals. So if you take anything from this video, remember this. Stop lying to yourself. You're the only one that knows what you do behind those doors. You're the only one knows whether you're cheating on your goals, whether you're cheating on spending money, whether you're cheating on spending food, whether you're cheating on your goals, you know it or not. And nobody else is going to be responsible for your action, and nobody else is going to be as accountable besides yourself. And that's it, guys. These are the 3 reasons why people fail their 2021 goals. I kid you not. You listen to what I just told you, you will achieve your 2021 New Year's resolutions. It's only 10 days, guys. There's 365 days in a year. That means you have 355 days left to make sure that all of your actions today are getting you one step closer to the goal that you want to be at. You see, I wish there was somebody that had told me what I just told you, because when I was moving up, nobody told me this. I learned this the hard way, and I had to make an analysis on myself and realize that this was the reason that I was failing so many times. And it's not until I opened my eyes and realized that these were the reasons why I wasn't getting where I wanted to be at, that I was able to achieve those goals that I wanted. I stopped lying to myself. I remember that I was in this for the long run, and I made goals that were measurable. I kid you not, you do these 3 things, then you'll be able to get to where you want to be. So besides that, guys, if you loved today's video and you got something out of it, please go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so. Go ahead and enroll into my school where I teach you everything that the school system should have taught you. And if you haven't done so already, go ahead and follow me on my Instagram, riseandgrind.mo, where you can see a little bit more of me. Every Tuesday and Thursday, I'll be posting on this channel. And if there's anything specific that you want to go ahead and learn, or that you've been struggling with, go ahead and comment below. I'll make sure to make a video of that in the next previous week. But besides that, guys, I'll go ahead and see you guys next time.